I think we are live streaming on YouTube, so let us record to the cloud. It's rare I hear noise from the hall. Okay, here we go. All right, very good. So I will pause this while we record live. That was me hearing me. So, oh, and I'm having soup too, which is some I should know, natural brand, Annie's, I think. I think it's lentil or vegetable. Anyway, it is November 1st. So why I'm on here at 8:30 on a Saturday night, day after Halloween, right? I had a great time. Saw both my daughters yesterday. The older one, who was a freshman in college, heading out to Madison, Wisconsin, party college capital for Halloween. And mom went with her to supervise, but they were going to stay the night there because it was going to be late. And the younger one I picked up from work because she picked up ours and at the grocery and said, yeah, I'm older now. I don't need to trick or treat. I can get my own candy. Anyway, it was a great time. And I watched some movies. I don't watch too. I do have been watching more TV lately to kind of edge out. Well, anyways, for those I'm watching. So look, I know the camera's here for this recording, but I'm talking to our joiners here. Okay, so this is for smoking cessation specialists, whether you're a counselor, coach, hypnotherapist, conventional therapist, mental health counselor, welcome. So a couple items. So 20 days from now, November 20th, is the Great American Smokeout. So what we're doing in preparing, and this will be something that you then can share with your clients or people that are going to enter what's called the HALT method. This is our process to help people quit. Your particular approach and a way to help people quit would be of interest to me. So the ultimate design is a course that people can take online. So I have in the past seen people one-on-one because I'm involved in so many projects now. It's not my primary focus. However, I want to put the best practices online because there aren't many people locally that have asked me to quit, but have people just recently in Florida, Pennsylvania, LA, San Francisco, and Texas. And actually Russia too, which is interesting because they're not going to come here and do that. So the idea here is to put together, now we're going to say two parts, but it's really three. So this is going to be a lead up, right, to help people who are considering possibilities of quitting. And for the Great American Smokeout for November 20th, we can do other events. Encourage them to do at least 14 days. So they could quit for one day, get the experience. And then ultimately we introduce them to todayquit.com, which is a full todayquitsmoking.com, todaystopsmoking.com program that would run for 21 days. Now, the success of it so far and the efficacy is really quite amazing. You'll have a good percentage do the process at the beginning, and they might go 2 or 3 days into it, but because they've quit, and not feeling urges, cravings, really, it's really quite amazing, this process. It really works. Go to the haltmethod.com, haltmethod.com, HALT, because we're using a combination of hypnosis, which is an innovation, next level analogy of hypnosis, and actualization, utilizing affirmations, and a lifestyle if they're now going to be non-smoker. And this adaptation is supported then with EFT and other types of tapping techniques, including guided meditations and other things that they can do. And we'll include these different exercises as a 14-day lead up, which could be divided up 7 days, 5 days, 3 days, because on the decision of today quit is really all what they need. This is just mental preparation for those that are preferring the path to just cut down, to just sort of wean off cigarettes, which never happens, or they're trying other types of nicotine replacement, gum chewing, vaping. So whatever it is that they're experimenting, they know that they have a countdown and a commitment. And at least they're agreeing to consider the advantages of quitting. And many of them have already made decisions they want to, but they just want to become more familiar with the HALT method, haltmethod.com, check out. So we're going to innovate it now because people are not coming into the clinic. Although if you're interested in hosting a clinic or being a practitioner, then contact us. That process will be a little bit different because they're in and out basically in one day. And if you do it right, the process itself doesn't take much more than an hour. There's some intake and there'll be some questions. And of course, we want to invite them to a complimentary follow-up, 1 or 2 sessions to make sure this is working. But us having it online for 21 days gives more than enough assurance, given our data and the efficacy. There's going to be a percentage that quit on day one and they're feeling great and they're done. And those that are curious or needing a little bit more support go 24 or 40 hours, 72 hours. We have a huge drop off. We followed up. Are you okay? You're not satisfied with the program? Oh, doc, man, I'm feeling great. I've quit. I have no more need for smoking. And they are not considered ex-smokers. This is non-smoker talk. This is a mentality of someone that's not only quit, they're totally removed from any urges, any thinking about it in a number of cases. At least 33% will come back to given, so it's a third of our intake. And given whatever process they go through, and this would include those that go through the whole 21 days, there's another drop off, 7 to 10 days, as I mentioned, 12 days, 15 days. And again, we're concerned. It's like, hey, I haven't seen you back on for a while. It's like, oh, great information, doc. We love everything you're telling us. And yeah, we're feeling good. Because sometimes the we is the partner. Or in some cases, if you go to haltmethod.com, companies who said, hey, we have a new non-smoking policy, no more cigarette breaks. We'll pay for you to quit, but you have to commit to it. And given it's your job, you quit. And with the support method, it makes it easy. Okay, so the lead up to the Great American Smokeout Day, which is November 20th this year in 2025, we'll offer exercise beginning now, but really at 14 days, because that's how I'm going to really instigate it and measure it. This is more introductory for you cessation coaches and for those doctors, particularly, who want to get your patients off. This is what I'm going to be sharing with you. So have them come on to I think we're going to use todayquit.com, and they'll be able to watch YouTube's, come on the Zoom. They can get free materials. We'll connect them if they're in the US, to the states that have these programs. I don't like some of the programs because they're sponsored and funded by the nicotine companies that are going, hey, all right, if you're not going to be smoking our cigarette brand, here's our patch brand or our pill brand. Now it's still nicotine. Now, if it's going to be a light transition, someone went from cigarette hardcore, non-filtered cigarettes to filtered limited vapes for a week or two, or until that vape exhausts itself. I mean, those vapes have more nicotine than even some packs do. So this is a guided process that we're going to help people quit easily. And once they do the official Today Quit program, and that would involve the HALT method, hypnosis, up to that point, this introduction will just be more instructional. It's an orientation. It's to make them warm up to what the process is, the HALT method, and they're familiar how it works, and they'll be more comfortable with making the commitment. And it has to be a commitment where they seriously say, today, quit.com. So today I quit. This will be the buildup. All right. So if any questions, follow up. I'm going to pause the recording so we can chat offline for a little bit, because at that point you could share your narratives. Again, you want to be sensitive to your patients, so not share names without their permission. However, this movement forward will be sharing our methods, and that eventually could be a book on quit smoking therapies. My HALT method is one, and it combines the 4 modalities: hypnosis, actualization, lifestyle adaptation, and various techniques such as tapping and EFT guided meditation, ambient beats, hypno beats, which we developed. We have some amazing technology. And we'll talk more about that, and that will be part of the process. And we'll have some samplings, but nothing that's heavy duty for someone that's just wanting to learn about the process. And of course, we can educate them on the advantages and the health risks if they continue smoking, and how, adapting this type of new, healthy, smoke-free lifestyle is really going to be empowering for them, and get them excited and confident that they can do it. All right. Well, that is it. You can get in touch with me directly at drmike.org. So Dr. Mike, drmike.org. And todayquit.com will be up this week in time for the 14-day countdown. In the meantime, I'll be back every day for a brief primer leading up to it. So catch it either on the Today Quit website or when we do these live streams. And the schedules will be included. And obviously, we are doing this as a live stream. However, our public information is coming from a private group, right? So you do not have to share your information if you're just wanting to help us with the data, do some research, survey follow-up, if it's some of your patients or clients. Obviously, we want to keep confidentiality all the way through, but we would like to know what the results are and learn from this scope so we can do this on a regular basis. And we'll turn this 14-day introduction as a starting point to make people comfortable for the eventual 21-day that begins with the 1 day today quit program. And that'll be their commitment to kick things off. And once they quit, that's the objective, right? It's whether or not they complete 21 days is irrelevant as long as they're no longer smoking. That's what we only care about. However, we'll deliver some really great information. And we're thinking about doing the third part, which is a bonus week, which is, hey, you've quit, you know you've quit. So what else is possible now? Talk about goal getting, other healthy lifestyle adaptations, and things that they can perhaps journal, consider, meditate on, and maybe in their world, envision that would be their next step. Now that I'm a non-smoker, what else is possible, right? Great question to ask. All right, I'm Dr. Mike. Thanks again for tuning in. I will stop the recording and be back with more. Thank you. Oh, I think we're still live streaming. So we'll get it two ways. How long are we on here for? Josh, great comment. I don't know if Carmen entered the featured book awards. I talked to Dan earlier or texted. And in the morning California time, he did not see the entry. But anyway, let's keep it focused on the smoking cessation. But for those of you who are authors or want to be a judge, go to newbookawards.com. It's really an exciting program, newbookawards.com. It's getting toward the end of the year, and if you have a book that's 2024, you definitely got to get in because it's going to be old. 2025 is almost over, so you want to get in if you got a book. If you got a book coming out, uh, consider the different book PR services that are being offered, like booktalkshow.com, book talk show. Yep, Josephine, yeah. So eventually we'll be training for the counseling. We had training for the existing HALT method, but that involves using uh, acupressure and laser, which you as a therapist would be administering. With this process online, we can do other types of things that will be instructional in that, and we'll explain how that works. And we can encourage the client if they want to see uh, someone who, like, obviously after a week, we suggest why don't you reward yourself with a massage because the tension might be built up. I've quit a whole week, but most people though tend to be like, wow, feeling good, and this becomes a reward. However, if they need acupuncture, there is the NADA protocol, NADA, as you know, for addictions. They can do needles, but they can do ear seeds, and laser was a component. So it's a medical grade laser, doesn't burn. But we are not going to be able to administer that, nor suggest that they do that as a home method. And it's not needed because the 21-day process weans them off cigarettes effectively enough, and the 14-day introduction that we're working on is more than needed. If the commitment has to be there. If they're serious about it, they'll quit. I mean, if you think about that ratio, and we're working in a silo process, we'll work with them until they quit. So we really have a high efficacy rate. I mean, I don't want to brag, but it's in the 90 percentile. I know it's hard to believe, but people do quit because rather than just hypnosis, which may or may not work, we're doing actualizations. And they're affirming a lifestyle of being a non-smoker. So they're actually living it. And then for other support work, they have community, they have coaching, and they're doing other techniques. So going through 21 days of not smoking, at some point, they're going to ease off any type of craving, any type of thing that the nicotine's going to work them through, as long as they're consistent. And of course, for those that fall off the horse, just get back on. It's 21 days. You go through it, you can start again. If you're serious and you go through 21 days of not smoking, obviously, some people, depending on their situation, whatever's going on for them mentally, emotionally, there could be temptations, but the addiction part can be weaned off because the mindset that's given in hypnosis and actualization, it's very integrated in this you could say four ladders or four stage by step, where any one of these really effectively work on their own. Smoking cessation is basically lifestyle adaptation. They're not doing hypnosis, and our version of hypnosis is next generation. It's quantum leap. So I'm pretty confident. So again, the desire has to be there. Someone has to be serious about wanting to quit and making the commitment. So it's a decision that going through the 14 days, they can experience and consider what the benefits are going to be and how the HALT method works, so they can be sold on for themselves if they can do it, because we will work on confidence and things like that. And so the decision to just go through the 14-day will be educational and experiential. Quitting, though, is where they step up and make that on the first day of the 21-day. Today, quit. And you have some probably going through the 14-day that will want to do the next phase. So I'm considering that we do that live, and you can work with your group or invite them on to the calls. I will support them in every way possible. Your expertise and your modality would help, though. If it's something that the client would benefit from, let's talk about that, and that will be really great. Okay, well, I think we're good. Some people have they've given a thumbs up. They've left. It is Saturday night, so I think it's really great. Let me do a quick star for everybody there. All right, thank you. We will talk to you later. Those people watching live don't have a chance to comment. It's been really wonderful. All right, I'm off. Let's see. We might still. That's it.